All right. Good morning, everyone. This is Beyond the Den. Now we're kind of having a little bit of a special episode, not only because we have Cody, our special guest here,
Hello.
but in addition, we not only once, but twice screwed up the podcast. Being that the first one, we never got video. And then right now, as we're recording this other one, it was never recording. So
Cody
we're having a
reminded
lot of
me
fun with
that on Monday we actually had to record it 2 times because the first time it wasn't recording. So then we started again. So this is actually the 4th time.
the
that we're-
fourth time, actually.
And this will be the one that gets no
Right.
audio.
You're
Dude.
right. We recorded this 4 times. Yes, Mike. Round 4 is awesome. All right.
The cursed
4 times a
episode.
charm.
Very cursed.
The
It's 'cause I'm here.
cursed episode.
I am cursed.
Well, not only because you're here, but yeah. Let's hit it off with our first kind of topic. We have been talking on the past 4 attempts about Retro Month. This is our Retro Month, as you guys have been noticing on Thursdays. We've been doing retro streams. As a matter of fact, we have one more, and that one more is the Super Mario Run.
Hmm.
We've been talking about the kind of games that we got into since we were a kid. What got us into gaming? What got us into, mostly gaming, not really competitive, because a lot of games back then were competitive. But what kind of game got you into gaming, Cody?
The very first game I ever played was game Little Nemo, the Dream Master, a very trippy, acid-like almost dream game that was on the NES. But the first game I actually got into and really brought me into the RPG genres would be Final Fantasy X, and then you have my favorite childhood games like BanjoKazooie, I just love.
What in the world is BanjoKazooie? I've heard you say that 4 times already, and I don't even know what it is.
Yeah, I don't know what the game is either.
Oh wow!
Okay, Alex, you're like, oh yeah, BanjoKazooie.
Okay, yeah. So
Because he
Banjo,
talked about he talked about Banjo Kazooie last time, and I only
Yeah.
know the character because of Smash. I don't know
Oh.
what the actual game itself entails.
it's on the N64. Have you guys played or heard of Super Mario 64?
Yes.
It's very same style, open world 3D platformer. You collect jiggies, which are just jigsaw pieces, and you are playing as a bear, Banjo with a bird in your backpack, Kazooie, and you're just trying to save your sister from an evil witch. It does everything.
Okay.
It does everything Super Mario 64 does, and just does it better. So
Oh.
I love the game.
That's a
I don't know
bold
if that was
claim,
shade.
Cody.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't know if that's supposed to be throwing shade
Yeah,
or
no,
what.
no.
But
It just is true. It just did everything they did and just improved upon it.
Alex, you're gonna do a speed run of Super Mario, right, for next Thursday?
yeah, that'll be fun.
Good luck with that one. Speedruns are tough.
I think this is just the cursed week because yesterday was Thursday and we were supposed to stream, but we were having technical difficulties. So we're gonna have to just upload that instead of stream it. So yeah.
It's just a week of technology problems. That's what it
I
is for
know.
us. And then, what is it? The eye of the hurricane, where the first signs happen. That didn't happen this week. That happened the week before because almost everybody was getting power outages. Mike was having power outages. I was having power outages. Some of the people were having power outages. It was prepping us for this week.
True.
What is the game that you played that first got you into gaming, sir?
So I played a lot of the Spyro demo because it came with, I'm pretty sure it came with my brother's Resident Evil game. You know how games used to come with different demo discs. The first game I remember playing was, I've said it 4 times and gosh darn, I don't remember it. Mickey's Dream World or something like that.
A World of
Cody.
Illusion starring Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck.
Yes, that one.
For
It
the
was
fourth
for the
time,
Sega.
Cody with the score.
It was for the Sega Genesis, but when I was a kid, I like whenever I would unplug it from the wall, I would pull the cord versus unplugging the like component. So I screwed up the wires in there, and it just kind of didn't work after that. I also, when I look back and I think about video games in general, I think so much about watching my brother play Resident Evil and just every game. Oh my god, Metal Gear. I used to love watching him play video games, and yeah, he's like the reason that I'm into video games so much. But I would watch him play anything and everything, stay up late with him, all of this. So yeah, he's a cool
Did,
guy. I hate
did you
him.
ever play video games with him?
Um, when I was a kid, no, because I mean, typical brother and sister, like we would always fight. We didn't really get along and whatever. So we
Yeah.
never played video games together. And now that we're adults, it's mostly he likes to watch me play video games. Or if like I'm at his house, I'll watch him play. I had been watching him play the newest God of War. Oh my god, so much fun. And then recently he's been watching me play The Last of Us Part 2. But as kids, we didn't really play together at all because oh, you're gonna get my controller all dirty and like, hey, you don't know how to take care of it because you broke the Sega Genesis, so like I don't trust you anymore.
I would
See,
play
like-
Mortal Kombat with my brother. We would just try to kill each other.
I would play games with my dad, and the reason I asked if you played, because I remember like when I was like super young, he pulled that trick where like he gives you the unplugged controller, making you think you're doing stuff.
Dude, yes.
Oh,
And I was like, that was done to me multiple times, and I remember one day
Oh,
I
yeah.
caught onto it, and I was like, "What is this?"
did you ever have like especially if you're playing with someone else, you have like a really nice controller, and then you give them the really bad, disgusting controller
yeah.
that barely works.
With like grease stains and like the little sticks are like
The
falling
B
off.
button is stuck.
See, me and my dad never had that, but the thing was that when it came to controllers, you could tell whose was whose controller, not off the like looks or the mechanics. He just liked wired. Like his thing is, I liked wired controllers. Me, I like wireless. That's why whenever we bought in controllers, I have a drawer here full of like 8 different controllers. You'll see like the Xbox 360, a wireless white one, a wired white one, a wireless black one, a wired black one. Then it's like the Xbox One. Now he has no choice. He has to use the wireless because we don't have the cables.
Dude.
Because you know how they started making them wireless, and they'll give you the cable afterwards. I think one of my like cousins or something like came in here because there's those little cousins that will come and grab stuff. I think one of them took my cable, so like his one wire he can no longer use. He's forced to use wireless. So
why don't
like,
you get
for
him
that
like a
one,
cheapy Amazon one that like it's like $20 from like China or something, and it has the cord on it.
I mean, yeah, we could, but he's already gotten used to wireless. So now it's just like we just use whichever controller, and both controllers are fine. So it's not like, oh, you have the worst one. I think there was only one controller that happened, but it was on his controller, so he never switched it out because he's like, this is my wired one, and it was like the X button wouldn't work. You have to like slam down on it for it to work right. But no, yeah, he ended up doing that when I was a kid, and that was with Super Mario. Yeah, that was a Super Mario. That's how I remembered like everything, like the secret passages, the warp worlds, like all that. Because I used to watch him playing, and I was thinking that I was doing, and that was not the case like whatsoever. And I did not pass Super Mario until I was in high school, actually. Like I never touched the NES like during my middle school years. I did in elementary, didn't touch in middle school. And in high school, one day I was just kind of like, I feel like playing an old game. And I went back and I played it. And it took me like a week to pass it because I did it ever so slowly. Like I never did any of the warp worlds. I'm like, I want to go through the entire thing, but I would only play like 30 minutes at a time. And some days I would skip. So in overall, I think it probably took me like a good 3-4 hours to complete. Yeah. So when you guys watch the speed run, expect it to be that or less.
Oh well, the record. I don't know. Are you doing Super Mario Brothers, the original one, or
Super Mario Brothers 3.
3? The
Yeah.
world record for 100% speedrun is 1 hour and 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was
Beat
saying.
that.
That's the goal. 1 hour, 10 minutes, and 2 seconds, and you're the new world record holder.
There's certain like levels where you can just run through, and there's some levels where they're designed for you to run through. Like there's this one in Super Mario World 3 that you're in a desert, and of course you're having to like dodge all the normal enemies. Like that goes for any Super Mario World level. You gotta dodge enemies. The thing is that there's a sun, an angry sun at the top. So I think this is in El Paso. And then after you reach like the 50% mark of the level, it starts moving on the screen. And if you touch it, you're done. Like you got to start again. So the thing is that level, those specific desert levels are designed for you to just run through. Like you don't go slow, because if you go too slow, then you got to keep dodging so many things. You just go fast. You just run and you keep jumping and you hope for the best, and you just like make
Oh
your
my
way out of there.
God.
So certain levels are designed for you already to like speed run as it is. The first world, you can kind of speed run through easy. Second world was a desert. That one, a lot of levels you had to speed run through. Third world was no, the ice. The clouds were 6. The Bowser's was 7. The ice was 5. How do I memorize this?
I
But
don't know.
yeah, so like certain levels are designed for you to just run through. That's what I love about old games. If you memorize the patterns, you can just bolt and run through.
Dude, yeah. There's this, I don't think he does it anymore, but I don't know if you guys know on YouTube the Angry Video Game Nerd, where he would review old like retro games and games that like didn't sell well, and he would go and he would play them, and he would pick out the flaws and everything, but I distinctly remember like there's a very specific pattern, and especially in kind of like maybe like a platformer where there's like certain times where you have to jump and like you're like, oh, I'm not gonna make it, but literally it's designed for you to like jump there, and if you jump like a little bit further out, you're just not gonna make it. So it's kind of funny how games have progressed so much to be like very intuitive and fluid, as where back in the day they were very like boxy, so to speak.
Like
Or like when you
linear,
used to
like there's
jump.
one way to do it.
I remember the days when you used to jump and like a single pixel of your foot managed to hit the ledge. So you were just like barely alive.
Dude,
Those are
Yeah,
fun.
yeah,
The
no.
heart attacks. The heart attacks for those are fun. Those were
Yeah.
amazing. I remember how many times I like, and the worst part is that you try to adjust to it. Like you think your pixel isn't gonna land, but it's gonna land, and you adjust too much, and then you end up dying anyways. And you're like, if I would have left it alone, I would have been fine. Those were always like fun
Yeah.
games.
I'm remembering when I played on my Game Boy Color Alleyway. Gosh, that game was so much fun. I think I found like an emulator for it or something, but I had so much fun on my Game Boy Color. Dude, and then we had Pokemon Pinball where you would put the AAA battery in like the little cartridge, and then it would like vibrate as you were playing pinball. It was so much fun.
I don't really
See,
remember anything outside of Pokemon Red and Blue on the Game Boy.
I never played with a Game Boy Color. I think the first Game Boy I ever had was a Game Boy Advance. And I remember back then, like, they didn't have like cheat books for Pokemon. Because the one I played that I enjoyed was Pokemon Emerald. They never had cheat books for that. They never had it towards where you could unlock certain things, or you had to do it on a certain time, a certain day. The thing was that for some reason, my Pokemon cartridge, it always kept saying that something was wrong with it, and it could never save a day, like an actual day. It would just tell me how long I had been playing the game for. So like apparently like one of the Pokemons you needed to be able to get on like day 40s, no, not day 40 something, like day 80 something, go at this time of the day in order to get this Pokemon in space. And I'm like, I could never do it because the cartridge never saved the date. It always treated it as if I was on day one. And I remember the only way to like cheat through that was like an adapter, and it was like this big, thick black adapter.
Yeah.
You would plug that into the Game Boy, then plug the Game Boy cartridge into that, and that would let you go through walls to like go to like read parts you weren't supposed to. Yeah, there were like no way to cheat through the games. You had to buy that adapter, and I think it was something Ghost or it was Ghost something. Either way, the adapter had the word Ghost in it, and you'd plug that one into the Game Boy first, then plug your Pokemon into it, and then like places where you had to like use a Pokemon to cut or like you needed to do a smash to get to another side, you could just walk through it. And it was like so fun because you could like unlock every single Pokemon ever at that point. Otherwise, you had to keep like, oh, I gotta go talk to all these people. Okay, I need it. And back then, you didn't have like the reminder stuff like, oh, go on this day to do this. You had to write stuff down in like a little notebook and be like, okay, on day 46, I gotta go talk to this guy at Route 146 to go get the Pokemon at whatever town. And it's like, oh my God. But you use that little adapter and you got to do everything in one shot.
Dang, dude.
I don't know. I've not played another Pokemon game since Red and Blue.
I don't think we had the red one, not the blue one. I don't know which. We had the red and the yellow. I don't know which one of those it was, but obviously I was like a child, so I wasn't very good at it. And I would play up until the point where Snorlax was like blocking the way. And I never knew how to get past that. And I was like, okay, the game just ends here for me. Like, I don't know what else to do.
Game over.
I think you're supposed to sing him a song or something to wake him up or like get a harp. I don't know. I don't remember.
You have to beat a gym boss that gives you the ability to do it. I don't really remember though.
But yeah, the game ended for me as soon as I hit Snorlax. I just couldn't get past it.
You're like, whoops, I'm done. I'm gonna start again just to get back here.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know, that's how it was with games too, specifically Pokemon. I think the last ones I went after were like Reggie Ice, Reggie Steel, Reggie Rock. The thing was that in order to get like Reggie Steel, it's very complex. Like you remember how you had to go into like caves and there was only a light around your character and everything else was black, and then I had to do that. And at that point, I stopped chasing after them because I just kept coming in and out of the same places, even though I was taking different routes. I was just like, you know what? I'm done, man. I'm like, I got 2 of you. I don't need the third one. I'm done. I don't need you. Oh my God. Those games were fun.
And then it's not like we had internet to search how to do stuff. You know, it's just like, hey, friend, have you figured out how to pass Snorlax? I'm like, oh no, dude, I can't. Like, I don't know what to do. It's all just word of mouth. You didn't have, and I think that gave us more patience because now I find myself having a little bit less patience for, like, what I'm saying is like I can imagine myself playing an older game and having less patience or being like, oh, I'm just gonna Google it, like, you know.
Even games today, it's like, oh, this is hard. I don't feel like solving this. Google what's the answer. It's like, oh, that's a neat riddle you have, game, but I don't want to solve it.
I'm the kind of person that, I'll go to Google to like look stuff up, but I'll try every single possible thing to solve it first. Because I know I can easily just like go to Google and I'm like, but part of the fun is supposed to be that I rage. Like, if I didn't rage, I didn't have a good time doing it. And sometimes it works in the end because if I ever like redo the game, I remember what I did. Like, for example, the other day, Jay, he was streaming and I'll watch his streams. He was playing Destiny. And apparently, like, there was this one big, like, badass character that just kept staying at this one entrance. And he's like, how did I get past him last time? But it's because the way he got past him last time was that he was looking stuff up. Yeah. So he didn't remember this time. And he wasn't going to look it up again because he remembers that he took, like, 20 minutes looking it up. So he's like, I don't know how I got past it. And me, I could, like, vaguely remember, but I didn't, like, want to say it because I was like, what if I'm wrong? And I'm like, everything you just collected, he's going to die. But yeah, like sometimes if I raged to like solve it, I'll remember what I did for like years to come. One of them was like Earthworm Jim. I remembered how I like pulled like this super smart move, and like the game did not expect it, and I passed the level. Then when I came to it again, I'm like, oh yeah, this is the one that I couldn't do like with the pattern. I'm like, I had to do this other knowledge. And, like, it was fine.
Doesn't Uncharted have a lot of puzzles like that? I haven't really played Uncharted, but I know
I don't know.
that. Well, I think they have like lots of puzzle type things.
I assume they do. I don't know. I haven't played it.
Yeah, me neither. I
Well,
tried,
guys,
and I was like,
we're at a closing point in our podcasts. As you guys know, we wish we could go longer,
yeah.
but you guys will get some more of that on our next podcast. Remember, you guys can reach us at our Discord, at all of our social media. Remember, Instagram is EP Honey Badgers, Facebook is EP Honey Badgers, Twitter is EP_Honey Badgers, and our Twitch, if you're watching it on Twitch, you already know what it is, but it is also EP Honey Badgers. We hope to see you guys next time. We hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. We'll be having more guests next time. Hopefully we won't have 4 different iterations of the same podcast, but it was fun
and thanks
recording
to
this.
Cody.
It's because I
Yeah,
won't be
Cody. Yeah, no, we were saying because you were great for recording all 4 sessions with us.
there. Oh.
Not that you're gonna be gone.
No, I thought I'm just cursed for more sessions, just for repeats.
We didn't say who Cody is. Cody, who are you? What do you do?
That's a good question. I'm a computer science student over at UTEP, and I am in charge of Hearthstone and Dungeons and Dragons. So if you want Dungeons and Dragons, we do that too. If you didn't know, hey, I run it and DM it, and you should join, even if you don't want to.
See,
he can
and
he can make you into a NPC in his Dungeons and Dragons playthroughs.
See,
They have not met your NPC. They're in the wrong direction to meet your NPC.
I remember the first couple podcasts we mentioned Cody, and for some reason it slipped my mind right now to like redo it. So I'm sorry, Cody. That was my bad.
I just assume we're skipping over it because it's Casual Friday.
True.
It's Casual Friday, Sarah, my dudes.
I will have you sign us off, Sarah, as our usual Honey Badger.
Thank you for joining us. So happy to have you. And remember, Honey Badgers don't give up.
Beyond the Den.